Hello again, everyone. This is Zombie Kids Rule, and I'm back with another tutorial for RPG Maker MZ. This tutorial is gonna be about different ways to roll attributes like D&D style attributes in RPG Maker. Basically, what I did was I researched the most common methods for D&D players to roll or determine attributes, and there are some that don't require actual like programming type stuff. I mean, you can allow just, well, I'm sorry, it does require programming, but it's not random type stuff. It's like, give people a point pool, and then they decide where to put their points in different attributes. So that would have to be programmed in a different way. This was all about randomly rolling or having some randomness in rolling, if that was what you wanted to do. So that's what this is going to be about, and there are essentially 12 different methods that I'm going to highlight. I'm going to demo it, and then I will go through the coding of the very last one, because as you'll see, with each method, so each one of these sprites or events is a different method. And when I built it, I made I made RPG Maker use show text to demonstrate everything it was doing, so I could make sure that it was actually functioning properly. There's, each one of these has the option of showing how that method works. And then the last one, and basically they build on each other. Each time the method is highlighted to show you what it's doing, and the previous methods are just arriving at results. So that way you can compare them. There's also a thread on rpgmakerweb.com in the forums where I posted about this, and I will put a link to that because it also gives results of my experiments with this. So after I built this, I experimented with seeing what the overall averages would be of these rolling methods if you did it, 50 times. Single rolls, if you will, 50 times. If you did it 100 times, if you did it 1,000 times, right? How would that affect the average of what your results would be? And I posted those the results of those experiments in that thread. So I'll do that. So again, this is my normal caveats. I'm not an expert. I don't claim to be. I am simply trying to make these tutorials with things that I've experimented with because I'm interested in it. And I do experiments that maybe other people just don't see the value of, but if I'm enjoying it and I think it's helpful and I'm learning from it, and then if I think the end result is something that might benefit people, and I haven't seen tutorials on it, then I try to make a tutorial to try to help folks out, to give back to the community. I don't claim that this is the best way to do anything. There are probably more efficient ways. There may be plugins, etc. I haven't played around with plugins that much. So I definitely don't claim that this is the only way or the best way to do something. In fact, when we get to the final method, the 12th method of rolling, I will actually highlight a way to make it far more efficient. I haven't done it, I haven't updated it because not only would it require me to do, a significant amount of rework, but more importantly, it would require quite a bit of testing to make sure that I implemented it correctly. And I don't want to take the time to do that right now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how I built it, and then I'm going to make sure I explain very, very clearly how you can make it much more efficient in a big part of this. Okay, so there's that. Also, as you can see, one of my other caveats, you notice I don't do fancy maps, I don't do that sort of thing, because I'm really focused on functionality at this point, learning how MZ works, learning scripting, learning JavaScript, trying to find ways of building different things, because I want I like games that are D&D type inspired games. And that's what I want to see, and that's what I want to work on building just because it's fun. All right, so let me show you. First of all, let me just highlight these are the different methods that these events will basically show. So you have basically rolling 3 die 6 to get your attributes. You have rolling 4 die 6 and you drop the lowest result. You have roll 4 die 6, drop the lowest, but you do that 10 times and just keep 8, keep the best 8. Roll 4 die 6, drop the lowest result, and then re-roll any result that's under 8. So that's another method. Roll 4 die 6, drop the lowest, right? And then any value, any result that's under 8, change it to an 8. So you're not re-rolling it, you're basically changing it to an 8 for an attribute. The other next method, roll 4 die 6, re-roll your ones. Okay, so always re-roll your ones and then drop the lowest result. So you only have, 3 die results for your attributes. Another method, 4 die 6. So roll 4 die 6, drop the lowest, but re-roll under 17. So if none of the attributes are more than that are at least 17, then you re-roll the entire set. Roll 2 die 6 and then add 6 to it. So that's all. These are different methods of rolling D&D type attributes. Roll 3 die 6 and turn the lowest result into a 6. Roll 3 die 6 3 times for each attribute and keep the best. So when you roll for strength, you roll 3 die 6 a total of 3 times and keep the best result. Or roll 4 die 6 2 times and keep the best result. So obviously you drop one of those, right? So you roll 4 die 6, drop the lowest, and you do that twice, and then you keep the best results for each attribute. And then the last one is roll 10 die 20, and you drop the 2 lowest. But then you also, I'll explain about this more. Basically, any roll above an 18, you reduce it to an 18, and then you add those extra points, you add those extra numbers that you reduce to a point system. So you can use those points to increase any attribute that you want, just not above 18. So anyway, those are the 12 methods that I wanted to build, experiment with in RPG Maker. And then, of course, there's, I didn't build the piece about actually assigning it to attributes. And of course, there's differences between whether these, you assign the attributes as you roll them, or whether you roll all the results and then allow the player to assign the attributes, right? I did not build that. I just built the random determination part to see how that works. So I'm going to show this. It's going to take a little bit longer. And maybe what I might end up doing is making this a demo, and then making a different video for the how it's made, because the demo might actually take a little bit, take 10 minutes or so to show the different results. So here we go. We're going to play test, show you what's happening. Okay, so the first method is, and you can always refer to the methods over here, but here's the first method, little brother. This 3 die 6 method of rolling attributes involves rolling 3 6-sided die for each attribute and taking whatever result you get. Let's see how that works out. So now this is going to show, because again, I wanted to see what was happening. So these are my 3 rolls, 1, 5, and 1. That means it's a total of 7, and this is the value that's being tracked for the attribute. Next roll, 1, 6, 4, total of 11. So now my attributes are 7 and 11. Okay, and this is just going to keep going through. Okay, so it's going to do this 8 times. Let's see, one more time. So there's my attributes. Now, it's going to, I'm sorry, 1, 2, 3, 4, yeah, okay, sorry. So so little brother, here's the end results. These are my attributes, and here's the total value of those attributes. I wanted to see the total values and how they played out. Do you want to try again? So I'm going to, well, I'm going to say no because I've fully tested this. So now it shows this now because eventually it's going to show all 12 methods. Do you want to see the average total points for this method based on multiple sets? So I'm going to say yes. How many sets should I roll? If less than 10, I will show you the results of each set. If more than 10, you will just see the average immediately. So I'm not going to pick 10 because that's going to go through rolling 8 attributes 10 different times. That's going to take a long time. I will show the 100 and the 1,000. So when you pick 100, it basically does all that 100 times. So the cumulative total was 8409. The number of sets was 100. So if you average that out, the method average was 84. That's the average of doing this type of roll. Do you want to do it again? Yes, because I'll just show the 1,000. It does it 1,000 times very quickly. This is the total average. This is the number of sets. Again, the method average is 84. Now, the range could actually be very, very different when you roll a single time. But that's the first method of rolling. Do you want to do it again? No, I'm done. So now we're going to go over here. This is little sister. This 4-die-6 method of rolling attributes involves rolling 4 6-sided die, dropping the lowest die value for each attribute. Let's see how that works out compared to my twin brothers method. So here's the 4 results. You're going to take the highest, which is a 16, and this is the attribute. It's going to be the display of attributes. Here's the next one. Again, just checking to make sure it works. Highest is 16 because you dropped the 3, so I got a 16, 16. And it does that for all 8 attributes, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, I think. Okay, so then it shows what was the twin brothers method, and we didn't see that because it just did it behind the scenes. So this was once again doing that first method, the 3-die-6, and then this is doing this 4-die-6 drop the lowest, so you can see the different results. Then it's going to do the average, right? So twin brother total, the average was 94, and then the little sister's average was 96. Do you want to try again? No, I don't. Here's the results. So it shows comparative. And each time I do this, you're going to see that those results change. Do you want to do the larger set of rolls? Yes, I do. I do not want to do 10 because it drags it out. I did it for testing purposes. 100. So here's the total. Here's the sets. So the method average was 97. Do you want to do it one more time? Yep, let's do the 1,000. Does it 1,000 times. Here's the total. Here's the set. Here's the method average. Okay, so do you want to choose again? No. Say goodbye. So we did the first 2. Here's the third one. Older brother. This 4-die-6 method of rolling attributes involves rolling 4 6-sided die, dropping the lowest dice value for each attribute. Roll 10 times, only keep 8. Okay, so let's see how that works out compared to my twin little brother and little sister's methods. So here's the first roll, right? So we're going to drop the lowest. So we have a 13. Here's a second roll. Okay, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth. Now, should be 2 more, right? 9, 10. So now we have 10 total. Now, if we look at this, the lowest rolls are 11s. So there's 2 of them. We shouldn't see any 11s at the end result. So here's the first method. Here's the second method. So again, each one of these events is redoing the previous ways of doing it. And then there's his method. You notice the 11s are gone. So it got rid of the 2 lowest values of 11. Then it's going to show the averages. So the first method average was 86 this time. Second method average was 107. And then this average for this method is 105. Do you want to try again? No, I don't. Here's all the totals again. Again, it's just showing it quickly. And then, yes, I want to do the 100 and the 1,000. So let's do 100. This is the total, the number of sets. Method average is 105. And then let's do the 1,000. Okay, so total, sets, method average. The more times you do this, the more it narrows down that range of high averages and low averages, right? Do you want to choose again? No. Okay, so now let's go to the next method. So older sister. This 4-die-6 method of rolling attributes involves rolling 4 6-sided die and dropping the lowest dice value for each attribute. Re-roll any result below 8. So we're going to do this until I see a result below 8. Hopefully we'll get it right off the bat. Let's see how that works. So here's the first result. We got an 8. Here's the next one, 13, 10. Oh, here we go. The result is 7. The result is less than 8. So we won't keep, whoops, so that's a grammatical thing. I would have to fix that. We won't keep that result. Didn't catch that before. Okay, so it re-rolled, right? So now I have a 10. So there's the 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, but we saw that we did re-roll the result that was below 8. So here's the previous methods. So again, it redoes those, just doesn't show you that it's doing it. And then here's the current method. All right. And then it gives the averages this time for the previous methods, 92, 99, 90, and it gives this average, 84, this particular time. Do you want again? No. Here's the results. Okay. And then, yes, we want to see those larger numbers. So do it 100 times. Here's the total, the sets. The average is 100. Do you want to do it one more time? Yep, let's do the 1,000. So here's the total, the sets, and the method average. Okay. All right. Nope, don't want to do that. So let's see the next one. Father. This 4-die-6 method of rolling attributes involves rolling 4 6-sided die and dropping the lowest dice value for each attribute. Change any result below 8 to an 8. So we should be able to see that when it works. Okay, so here we go. So here's first value was a 16, an 8, so it actually is an 8. 16, 11, 10, 11, 11, 10. Okay, so now it shows the results of the first two methods, the second two methods, then the current method. There's the totals for the first two methods, or the average for the first two methods, average for the second two, average for this one. Do you want to try again? Yes, because I want to see that it does what it's supposed to do. So there's a 10, 14, 15, 12, 9, 15. Oh, here we go. The result is a 5. The result is less than 8, so we will just change that to an 8. So when we see the next screen, there should be an 8 at that last. Yep, there it is. There's the 8. Okay, and then once again it shows here was the results of the first two methods, the results of the next two methods, and then the current method. And then here's the average. Here's the total, right, of the method. Here's the totals for the other two, and then here's the current total. Okay, do you want to try again? No, I do not. So it shows the comparison. And then, yeah, we want to see what happens with the other ones. So we'll do the 100. So there's the total, the number of sets, and the average. And then here's the 1,000. Okay. And yes, you could do this a bunch of times. Like for instance, you notice that this is 98. The method average is 98. Well, let's go back here and do the 1,000 again. 98. Do it again. 98. So it's pretty consistent. If I go back to 100, it's 97 this time, but that's right around the same, right? 98. Okay, so you get much wider results if you do one set, right? Versus, of course, the 10, 100, or 1,000. So let's go to the next one, mother. This 4-die-6 method of rolling attributes involves rolling 4 6-sided die, re-rolling any ones, and dropping the lowest dice value for each attribute. So any ones we see will be re-rolled, and we'll see this the first time. So let's see how that works. Okay, so first roll is a 5. So this is the one where it actually shows you each individual roll. So 5, 3, 1. Any result of 1 will be re-rolled. So we got a 6 now. 3. Now it shows the results, right? And it eliminates the lowest. And it's going to do that 8 total times. So we do our results. Oh, gonna have to re-roll that one. And there's your results. And it's going to do it again. Oh, re-roll that one. And again, I only showed these for testing purposes to make sure it was actually doing what I wanted it to do. So I could look at these and say, yep, it's adding what I expected it to add. It's doing exactly what I expected it to do. And that's why I have these text in here. Okay, and then ultimately, implementing these, I wouldn't give this feedback to a player if I decided to implement any of this. Okay, so we're almost to the end. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That should be it. So once again, it redid the. Here's what the first two methods, what they did. Next two methods, and then the last two methods. Right, we're up to method 6 now. Okay, and then here's the total. So you see, this one was all the way down to 65. So that was a pretty crappy roll, set of rolls. And then here's the next two, and here's the last two. Do you want to do this again? No. So it shows the totals, and again, I could put a longer delay here so I could see and look at it more, but I don't need to. I don't want to. Whoops. Well, that's fine. I didn't do the 100 or the 1,000, but I think you've already got the gist of how that works. So let's go here. So Grandpa, this 4-die-6 method of rolling attributes involves rolling 4 6-sided die, dropping the lowest die value for each attribute, and re-rolling the entire set if none are above 16. Okay, so that's this method, the 7th method. Let's see how that works out. So here's the totals, right? It drops the lowest, gives us a 9. Let's see what happens at the end result. So 9, 13, 15, 15, 11, 13, 13, 15. Oh, well, none of them are over 16, so we're going to re-roll the entire set. 15, 17. Oh, so we're not going to re-roll because we've got one higher than 16. Okay. That's not a bad. It's not a bad set. So again, here's the first two methods, their results. Here's the second two methods. Here's the third two methods. All right. So and then here's the current method, the 7th method. All right. That's a pretty good breakout of stats. And then here's the first two methods, what their total attribute rolls were. Here's the next two. Here's the next two, and here's the current one. Do you want to try it again? No. And there's your distribution. Or I should say, there's your comparison. Do we want to do the multiples? No, because you've already seen that. You already know how it works. Here's the next one. Grandma, this 2-die-6 method of rolling attributes involves rolling 2 6-sided die and adding 6 to the total value for each attribute. So let's see how that works. So one of these is always going to be a 6. So actually the last roll should always be a 6 because we're just adding it. So 6, yep, 6 at the end, 6 at the end, 6 at the end. So basically this is always going to be a 6. Okay. And so now we see the first two methods, this time how they played out. The next two methods, how they played out. The method 5 and 6, method 7, and then current method 8. See how it played out this time. Then it's going to show the totals, right? These are the totals of the first two methods, method 3 and 4, method 5 and 6, and then method 7 and 8. That's the total value of the attributes. Do you want to try again? No. Here's the comparison. Okay, do you want to see the average? No, we're fine. We don't need to see the 100 times and the 1,000 times. So what's the next one? This 3-die-6 method of rolling attributes involves rolling 3 6-sided die and swapping the lowest result with a 6 for each attribute. So this time we're going to swap the lowest roll with a 6. let's see how that works out. So 4, 6, and 3. Now, I don't, if I recall correctly, I don't actually show the change, but there will always be a 6. Every single time there'll be a 6. So this one must have been the lowest roll, and now it's a 6. Now, this one, one of them got changed. I don't know which one, but now you got 3 6s. So one of these was the lowest, and it got changed. This one was the lowest, and it got changed. Okay, so as you can see, ooh, wow, this is a very good set of rolls. Wow, this is really good. So one of those, right? So not too shabby. So once again, it shows the method 1 and 2 this time around, method 3 and 4, method 5 and 6, method 7 and 8, and then the current method, right? Method 9. Nice set of rolls there, okay? And then it gives you the totals, right? For each method. Just adding up the resulting attributes. Pretty nice, 126. That was very nice. Do you want to try again? Nope. And here's the comparison. Got 3 more. Okay, we do not want to see the 100 or the 1,000. It's the same as it was with the other methods. So here we go, the Nice. This 3-die-6 method of rolling attributes involves rolling 3 6-sided die 3 times and keeping the best result for each attribute. So essentially, every single attribute, like let's say strength, you roll 3 6-sided dice, a total of 3 times each, and then you take the highest set. Okay, so let's see how that works out. So this is going to do first roll, second roll, third roll. So third roll is the best. Let's keep the third roll. Okay, so now we know what they are. Okay, so first roll, second roll, third roll. First roll, we're going to keep the first roll. So now we have 15, 15. Okay, now we're going to keep now this is programmed to take the first roll that is equal, right? So in this instance, it's going to take the second roll, not the third roll. So we'll keep the second roll. Okay, it's going to take the second roll. It's going to take the second roll. Going to take the third roll. Going to take the first roll. And going to take the second roll. Okay. Now, it's going to show, once again, method 1 and 2, method 3 and 4, method 5 and 6, method 7 and 8, method 9, and then this is the method 10. Then it shows you, again, the totals of the attributes. Right? So again, I was doing this just for testing and experimenting, figuring out how all this works. Do you want to try again? No, I do not. Here's the comparison. And like I said, I ran tests. I do not want to do this. I ran tests of doing each one many, many times to see what the range of results was, to try to figure out how they compared. Now, there's the second to the last. The Lord. This 4-die-6 method of rolling attributes involves rolling 4 6-sided die 2 times and keeping the best result for each attribute. So let's see how that works. First roll, second roll, we're going to keep the second. First roll, second roll, keep the first. First roll, second roll, keep the second, right? And it just goes through each time until you get to a total of 8. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That should be it. So once again, shows the first 2 methods, method 3 and 4, method 5 and 6, method 7 and 8, method 9 and 10, and then the current method 11. And then it shows the totals of those attributes. So you can see how things are playing out. Do you want to try again? Nope. There's the comparison. And then don't want to see the do it 100 times, do it 1,000 times. All right, here we go. So this is the last one. This die 20 method of rolling attributes involves rolling 10 20-sided die, dropping the 2 lowest, and then reducing any result over 18 down to 18, and adding the point reduced or the amount reduced to a point pool. So you could then allow the player to use that point pool to increase attributes as they choose. So let's see how that works out. So we got 12. So current roll, 12. And then this is going into the array, right? And the point pool is 0. So 10, 16. Want to see what happens when we get a roll above an 18. Oh, here we go. So we got a roll of 19. So current roll is reduced to an 18, but the point pool went up by 1. Okay. And then this happens 10 times, right? Oh, we got a roll of a 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Here's the last one. Oh, 19. So that gets reduced to an 18, and then your point pool is 2 now. Okay. And then so it's going to show method 1 and 2, method 3 and 4, method 5 and 6, method 7 and 8, method 9 and 10, and then method 11 and 12. Then it shows the totals for the methods. So again, you can see how they work out. All right, and then do you want to try again? No, I do not. Here's the comparison. And we don't, and this one, we'll just do it one more time. Sure, I want to see this. How many sets should I roll? Let's do the 100. So this one happens to come out with a 95 as the average. Let's try it again with 100. See, now this is 101, so that's a pretty big difference between 95 and 101. Let's try it again. 100, 97. Okay, one more time. 99. So those are all over the place. Let's do 1,000. 96, 97, 97. So it's averaging out now to around the same range, 97. Okay, so that's the different ways of doing of rolling these. So these were all built, in a particular. I built all of these separately. So I built this one. There was one method. Built this one, and it had the first method, and then it showed you the second method. This one had the first two methods, and it showed you the third method, and so on and so forth. So when we get to this one, it basically does the first 11 methods without showing you what it's doing, and it just shows you the 12th method, and then you get the comparison. Okay, so that's what this is doing. That's the demo. I think I will stop this here, make this just a demo of what it what I built, and then in the next video I will simply do the explanation for this event, because it will show you how all of these other events, meaning the method of rolling, how all of those are built. And then it'll just show, the overall of showing the results and that sort of thing. So I'll just basically highlight this one, okay? And that's it. So again, this turned into just a demo because it did take a little longer to show the functionality, or I should say, yeah, to show what it does in the testing. And hopefully this is interesting to some folks. And again, I will show how to significantly make a portion of the events more efficient. I'm not going to go back and actually correct it now because that involves a bunch of testing to make sure I do it correctly. But I will make sure that I explain how to make certain portions of the event much simpler and much more efficient. And you'll see examples of it anyway, because I did part of it. I did that way. Anyway, so hopefully that'll be helpful. So anyway, I hope this interests folks. I will work on the actual explanation of this next, and I'll have that out later today. And I'm glad you found my channel. I hope you find these videos helpful. If you do find these videos helpful, please consider liking, subscribing, getting notifications, leaving comments. I try to respond to all comments that that people do and then they stick around, meaning the comment stays there. So I'm happy to get feedback. I just want to give back. I want to share things I've been able to do in the hopes that it helps other people on their journey. And hopefully that people take this and figure out all kinds of cool things to do with this as a basis and say, hey, I learned something new. I can apply this in many different ways. So again, hope this is helpful to people. I hope you guys are having a great day. And I'll start working on this explanation next. In the meantime, happy gaming, happy game making, and I will see everybody later. Thank you very much. Bye.